And welcome to the Panthers post-game show. I'm the coach Dick Cox, joined by Sam Green. Well, Sam, the city of Charlotte's been through a tough week. I think a lot of people were hoping to come to the Panther game today and it to be a feel-good story, Panthers with a big win and kind of make people forget about things, but that didn't happen today.
Didn't turn out that way. Coach Ron Rivera didn't really want to touch too much on the subject. Got to talk to a couple of the Vikings players. They were more open to it, obviously, I guess because they're not here permanently, but just kind of visiting, so it wasn't as sensitive of a topic for them, but definitely hard week along with that as well as the loss. So
I can honestly say it was kind of interesting, and we'll get this over with first there, that I've never been to a pro game or any kind of game that had the type of security, the police force in their full riot gear and everything, protesting going on. I did go to the World Series one time when the Indians were protesting down there with the Braves being in the World Series, but it was nothing like today, though. And you wonder, I know it's not an excuse, but you wonder, how big of a distraction that was, just from the standpoint that I know the players are sick of hearing about it, but they've had concerns, too, about their families safe and healthy and their families. I know that Greg Olson mentioned something about, having his son taken out of school one day or something there, though. But, you wonder if that had to be on the minds, too, as far as preparations for today's game.
Coach didn't allow that to be an excuse. That was his first thing he said. He said there's no excuses, can't blame it on anything but not performing. So.
And again, I've always said excuses are for losers. So,
yeah.
So we'll move on with that, though. But this is kind of a weird game to explain, that the Panthers came out today.
Yeah.
They were ready to play. They scored a field goal in their first possession that Minnesota won the toss deferred. The Panthers go down, kick a field goal. They go up 10-0 and then missed a field goal, I think, that would have put them up 13-0. And then the next thing you know, they didn't do anything the rest of the game.
Kelvin didn't help out today. He didn't get any passes. So.
And you wonder on that. We had a chance to talk with Captain Munnerlyn, who was one of my favorite Panthers when he's here. He's with the defensive back with Minnesota Vikings, and talked about how they knew that was Cam's favorite receiver and roll the coverage sometimes, though. But
yeah.
I don't even know if he even had a pass attempted his way today. And when you take him completely out of a game, when you got a guy 6'5" that can make the catches he makes, and he is one of their valued weapons, and don't even get him the football. I mean,
we really needed him. Yeah,
that would
have helped.
A recipe for disaster
yeah.
right there. Another recipe for the disaster today was Cam Newton was sacked seven times. 7 times. One of those came down with, which got them on the board first, was a safety trying to throw out his own end zone right there, though. But they did a great job, and Coach Rivera talked about that, how Minnesota changed their tactics when they got the lead, that they became more aggressive and mixed blitzes and all. But Cam really didn't have time to look or do anything. And it's kind of interesting because Cam actually started the game 6 for 6 for passing. Went out for a play, hurt. Anderson came in and completed the pass. So the Panthers started out 7 for 7 in passing.
Yeah.
But, it's really hard to pass when you're actually looking up at the sky, that nice blue, Carolina Panther blue sky up there today. And you can't see your receivers. That does make it tough. Just like sometimes when these pop-up things on the screen come up, make it tough too.
Greg Olson was talking about how, all the setbacks for Cam were difficult. He was saying it's hard enough to step forward and make progress in the game. So, those little treks backs were just, not in their favor today. And
once the Vikings got the lead, gosh, it seemed like that short passing game, they were just nickel and diming the Panthers to death, where, they need 3rd and 5 and they get 6. And they kept finding Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, over the middle right now, finding him open the tight end. Just play after play, they seem to convert and make the plays.
They read into everything today. We couldn't get away with anything.
No. So it's kind of interesting, too, that in talking with Captain Munnerlyn, and I was even thinking this, that Minnesota going into the season, they lose their quarterback, and they have to make a quick trade to get Sam Bradford. He's not ready for game 1, but they're able to get through with that, though. They lose Adrian Peterson, and on paper, this game should not even been a game today when you've got a new quarterback. You don't have your all-everything running back, but guess what? This is grass we're standing on, not paper.
That's right.
So it made a big difference, though. So interesting. Panthers starting the year 1-2.
That's right. Hopefully we can come back.
And next week is going to be a very interesting game. Got to go down I-85 for the rivalry, and those two teams hate each other. that there is not a lot of love. I think it started a couple of years ago when Atlanta somehow put together a miracle and kicked the last-second field goal, going the length of the field, and the quarterback down there, Matt Ryan, had a few expletive to say to the Panthers after the game, and there has been a lot of bad blood between the two teams there, so it's going to be interesting to see, and that's also the first divisional game too.
Yeah, hopefully we can pull it off.
So, but the fans go home today disappointed though, but what's your take on today's game?
Just got to keep pounding. I mean, stereotypical, but it's true. It was a tough loss, and like Coach said, no excuses. So hopefully, we can come back from a rough week and rest up and just get back to it.
And a lot of people wanted to try to, again, excuses, which I'm not in excuses, try to say, well, they didn't have Jonathan Stewart, but this team is good enough with the reserves they've got.
Definitely.
That they're not a one-man team.
No.
They went through the whole year last year without Kelvin Benjamin. That could have been an excuse. They go to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So
undefeated too.
Undefeated up until that one game in Atlanta, which I think that they're going to remember going to Atlanta last year. The trip to Atlanta was a disappointing one there though. But this is a team that injuries, I don't think have taken their toll, because they always find a way where the next guy steps up and gets the job done.
You have to.
So
can't count specifically on one person. So
I think
come back.
Everybody had it figured out today where the Panthers were going to go down, and this was even my thing. We're going to go down, score. We're not even going to have to onside kick. They still have the 3 timeouts. Get it back. Come back, force a punt, go down, score, and win 24-22. That didn't happen today.
No.
So in a Hollywood script, that would have been the script, though. But our final score today was Minnesota Vikings 22, Carolina Panthers 10, though. Final thoughts?
Nope, nothing else. I think we covered it all.
So again, not a happy day today for the city of Charlotte. Hopefully things will get better in the town. That hopefully this was going to be a way of hopefully mending some feelings and tough times people have been through. But sometimes adversity, you just gotta keep on keeping on.
Keep pounding.
And that's keep pounding, and that's what the Panthers kind of have to do. The Panthers will go to Atlanta next week. We'll be back with you next for Monday Night Football.
That's
when
right.
Tampa Bay comes on a Monday night. She's Sam Green. I'm the coach, Dick Cox. We'll be back in a couple of weeks from Bank of America Stadium. Till then, goodbye, everybody.